Come to the Peak District, they said. Great views, great weather. Well, today's walk's going to be fun. Well, that didn't take long to find the remains of the Airspeed Oxford. If I ever catch you fucking dropping litter out of your car, mate, it'll be the last thing you fucking do. Yeah, here we are, we're on Axe Edge today. Parked up on a layby. This used to be where you could park, but they've obviously had problems with travellers and stuff, I guess. So yeah, glorious day today, not. Yeah, come to the Peak District for lovely views and great weather. Just had a bit of a break in the rain at the moment, but I'm sure it's going to catch up with us in a minute. But we're off today to 3 aircraft wrecks, one a biplane, the source of the River Wye, and also the source of the River Dane. So that's today's walk. I'll catch up with you when I get up. Hello, Mr. Sheep. How are you? Okay, so see you soon. You can see over there towards the Cat and Fiddle. It's in the cloud over there. We'll be heading off over there towards Cheeks Hill later for the source of the River Wye. Buxton's just around the corner. You've got the racetrack here. Buxton Raceway, definitely worth going there. Sorry, there it is, not there. It's there, Buxton Raceway. Definitely worth going to that. If you like watching stock car racing, banger racing, caravan racing. I see my car there. Hopefully it's there when I get back. Obviously the very famous Dragon's Back, Chrome Hill and Park House. That's well worth doing. I did that with my niece, who was quite young at the time. Niece and nephew and sister and husband and my partner, and coming down the first hill she had a bit of a panic attack and wanted to call a mountain rescue out and all sorts, but we managed to get her down. That'll be quite dicey today with all the rain we've had. You can see the rain coming through here. We are just below the cloud level. The mountain weather forecast, the information service said 60% chance, and I've all prepared for it being lashing down with rain. Got my mountain equipment coat on, got my gaiters, waterproofs, and I seem to be dodging it at the moment. That's probably, you know, I seem to be quite lucky at the moment with weather, but I've not brought my big camera out, so I'm having to do any pictures I take will be on my phone. But we're heading along here to Axe Edge, down to the first wreck, which is an Oxford, Airspeed Oxford, another one. Most of the wrecks seem to be Airspeed Oxfords. I think if I was in World War II and someone asked me to fly an Airspeed Oxford, I'd have quite resoundingly said no. Anyway, so yeah, that's one of the 3 wrecks today. So we'll continue along here. I mean, you can see how stunning the views are. You can see the weather fronts moving through, showers and stuff. So yeah, we'll bag 1 trig while we're here, maybe 2, see how I feel. It's only like a 5-mile walk, but the weather wasn't looking good. I'm still not feeling 100% after that virus, so take it steady, trying to get out 3 times a week walking. Probably throw some weights in as well. I've realised now that if you want to lose weight, you need to do something you like doing. So I like walking, so that's what we'll do. Stunning. So a light play down there, really cool, but you can see the weather's coming in now. Big weather front there coming over. Like most of the winds in UK, the prevailing wind's southwesterly, so it's going to come course sort of this way. Seems to be skirting round here. Now Axe Edge is a major watershed. I've put a picture up of, there's 5 rivers that come off Edge Moor. You've got the Dove, the Manifold, the Dane, the Burbage Edge, and the River Goyt. So I put up an image that I found on the internet which shows which rivers they flow into. That was really cool. So yeah, we're going to crack on down here now. The wreck's towards the end of Axe Edge, so I'll do a bit of filming as we go along the way. Oops. What I did manage to, sorry to point out, was that almost like a pyramid shaped hill in the background there is Havilland So I'll put the GPX route up, but there's a nice little walk that starts in Earl Sterndale, you go up to High Wealden, then over Parkhouse and Crome Hill and back round. It's quite a nice little 7-8 mile walk that. So I'll put the GPX route up in my Facebook group, and I'll put a link to it in the bio for this film. So, you know, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And if you wait to the end, I'll tell you something really interesting about Edge Moor that involves celebrities. So watch to the end, and I'll fill you in on that at the end of the thing. At the end of the film, we can see, look at this weather front coming here, just skirting past us. Luckily, I came out of Castleton this morning, and it was absolutely tipping it down. Come to this far side of Buxton, and it just seems like the southern edge here is just missing it at the moment. Although I'm sure, looking at that, it ain't gonna last long. So better waterproof testing today. All my gear, obviously, the GoPro, as you get mixed reviews on how waterproof that is, and also this waterproof phone cover. I had one, but I somehow managed to fold it and split it, but I've got another one. They're only 10 quid. You can find them on Amazon. Just look for waterproof for your phone, and these ones with the clips at the top, they're like the divers ones, so they're the best ones to get. But yeah, that's looking grim. You can see the Cat and Fiddle pub there just in the distance, but I think we're going to come into a bit of cloud. It's just skipping above us. I'm going to get quite wet shortly, I think. But hey, no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. Just to add also, just in the clouds there, you see that sort of hill, that's Shustlingslow. That's the Matterhorn of Cheshire. That is well worth a visit. Again, I've got a route up there. I've not filmed on it yet, but I'll put the GPX route. We used to live in Wild Boar Clough, which is sort of sits at the bottom of Shustlingslow, and you've got Three Shires Head. So this western side of the Peak District is well worth a visit. You've got the Roaches to the south. You've obviously got the moors over this way. You've got the Goyt Valley, Wood Hall, the reservoirs. So, you know, stay away from Mamtor sometimes. There's plenty of other places to go and visit. Anyway, less rabbiting and more walking. Right, we're at the highest point on Axe Edge now. You've got the Roaches to the south in the cloud. Three Shires Head's just there. No, sorry, just down there. Shutlingslow now is covered in cloud. We are just below the cloud base, so you see the Cat and Fiddle pub. Yeah, some weather coming through. The Cat and Fiddle roads across there. Some showers going across just south of Buxton, and then the last little sunny spot here, just where we are. Fascinating. But yeah, I think we're in for some weather in a minute. Looking at that, if it breaks ground here, because as I said earlier, this is a watershed. So we're going to be going down here and back round here. Now the aircraft wreck isn't far from here, so just over to the right down here somewhere, I think. So what I'll probably do now is catch up with you when I get to that point. Well, that didn't take long to find. The remains of the Airspeed Oxford, well, all that's left of it, a few spars and whatever. I'll put all the details up. Again, there's another Second World War crash, from what I can recollect. They basically they all survived with a few injuries, but like I said, a lot of these Airspeed Oxfords seem to crash. What a bleak place to come down. I guess the only saving grace was not far off the main Leek to Buxton Road. So I'll put some pictures up. I'll put quite a bit of detail up on this as usual, just after this section. So that's number one. We're going to head off down now to Axe Edge Farm, and then I think we cut back over here towards Cheeks Hill. I do find that I repeat myself quite a bit on these walks about where I'm going, so I do apologise for that. Anyway, we're going to head off back now and get up to the Pat up there.
On the 3rd of November 1944, the crew of 3 boarded HN429 for a beam approach training exercise from RAF Cranage in Cheshire. At around 10 AM, the trainee pilot lost his way and while trying to correct his error struck the gentle slope on the northern side of Axe Edge. The aircraft must have had a very gentle crash, if such an event can be gentle, as one of the aircraft's wooden propellers was recovered by a member of the mountain rescue team from the RAF station at Harper Hill. This was later donated to the now defunct Macclesfield Historical Aviation Society. The propeller is almost undamaged. Normally during a crash these tended to shatter. All 3 men survived the war, having been reported to have virtually walked away from the accident, though in the records it is clear that all 3 suffered varying degrees of injury, with Mullen having his right foot amputated as a result of the damage caused by the crash. He was eventually retired from the Royal Canadian Air Force on medical grounds in July 1945. The crew consisted of Charles Victor Mayhead, flying officer, pilot instructor, Albert Craig Mullen, flying officer, Royal Canadian Air Force, pilot student, and John Stuart Bean, flying officer, Royal Canadian Air Force, observer.
It's coming in now. Visibility is going to drop quite quickly. See it now, you can't even see Chrome Hill anymore. So, not been out in any bad weather for a while. I always find it quite refreshing. Anyway, we'll head off down to Axe Edge End, and then I'll just tell you a couple of bits of information when we get there. Yep, visibility now not too bad that way, but going forwards we are sort of hitting the cloud. I love this. We won't find a soul up here today. No mad buggers like to go out in this weather. Or just a few of us anyway. Well, here we are at Axe Edge End. Now there's 2 of the river sources here. Down here is Dove Head Farm, and that's where the River Dove starts as it winds its way down towards, I think that goes into the Trent. Again, I'll put something up about each river. I think most of the rivers coming down today. Over there at Flash Head is where, so just over there, it's Flash, the highest village in England. There is where the River Manifold starts. So the manifold, I think that flows down into the Derwent too, I suspect. But again, I'll put more information up about where they go. We're going to head off up over here now, back round up over towards Burbage Edge, Cheeks Hill, where we're going to find another wreck, or 2 wrecks, and also the source of the River Wye. So I'll catch up with you there. respite. That really was, that was good driving rain, that. Got a bit dripping down my gaiters into my boot, but other than that, I seem to be, the waterproof jacket certainly seems to have earned its keep, so we've got a bit of a break, but there'll be more coming over in a bit. So that was quite good fun, that. We'll head up here now. We're going to follow the track up there. I think we're then going to cross the Cat and Fiddle road at one point over onto Burbage Edge, but I think before that, if I remember rightly, we're going to cut across to Cheeks Hill. There's a trig point there. There'll be much point going to that, I don't know. There's also the source of the River Wye, so we'll go and find that. Then we're going to cut across towards Dane's Head, which is the source of the River Dane, and then we're going to head over to Burbage Edge, like I just said. 2 wrecks there. One, I don't think there's much debris, just a debris, just like a pool. So, but there's another one where there is a bit of debris, and where it crashed into a wall, so there might be some debris in the wall. So I've only got a 6-figure grid reference for that, so that last one was an 8-figure. It's a lot more accurate, obviously, so you can always pinpoint it like I just did, but this one we might have to hunt around a bit. But anyway, we're headed up here now. You can just see how the water erodes for this peat. You can see the rock underneath, how thick that is. Little bridge here, but that'll all give way eventually. You won't want to fall in there. If I was to stand in there, that'd be up to my shoulders quite easily. So really fascinating. There's a lot of work being done at the moment to protect the peat bogs. The government are meant to be banning the sale of peat-based compost, but apparently they're dragging their heels. I saw a petition on that the other day, which I signed, so again, I'll put a link to that. Be about 100 frigging links in this video, but I'll put a link to that as well. So if you've got a similar view, then, you know, by all means go and put some pressure on this government, because they fucking well need it. Starting to get a bit exasperated with the politicians at the moment. No one seems to be any different at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, beautiful. We're going to head up here now, I think. Just make sure I'm on the right path, but I'm pretty sure it was the only path, so it must be the right one. So a bit more rain coming in again. So yeah, crack up here in a bit. Over there's a trig point we're going to head for in a bit. That's Axe Edge. Roaches. Some sort of a kestrel hovering there. Shotting's low looking great there. I'll get a picture of that. And over towards the Goyt Valley. So, it's coming in again. We are now at Dane's Heads here. So this is where the River Dane starts its journey. And again, I'll put up on the route of where that goes, but there's a really good sort of long distance, I say long distance, probably medium distance walking route called the Dane Valley Way, I think they call it. So, wow, this is really coming down now. This is proper Derbyshire rain. Look at that. Fucking hell. Woo! Some bloke just stopped me. Looked like a gamekeeper. He goes, well, I was going to see if you're alright, he says, but you look prepared. I said the old quote, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So we're going to go across here now, and then cut across towards Trig Point and the River Wye. I've got these trousers on, they're not actually waterproof, they're fast drying, but they seem to be doing the job quite well. Soon dry out. I always sweat more in waterproofs, so anyway, here we go. This is getting quite wet now. That's actually running off my beard and down the inside of my jacket. Bloody great. Anyway, gonna head off over here now. Catch up with you in a bit. was a bit deeper than I thought. I actually went over the top of the fucking gators. Jesus, it's very wet, and what looks like a shallow pool or whatever ends up being a... Be very careful now, so I probably won't do much filming. That weather was quite bad. I'm going to head off to the top of this hill, just to the right of the summit, and cut over towards the trig point, and we should hit the River Wye as we go over there. So time to focus now. This looks like an old sheep trod or keeper's path, so we'll just follow this up. So I'll catch up with you in a bit, because I need to watch where I'm going before I end up with a broken ankle. So there's a trig point up there, we'll just head up there and touch that. Some stunning views here. The rain's died off, I've got a boot full of water, but it's not too bad. The River Wye source is just this gully here, so we'll go down there, but that just there is a source of the River Wye, which flows through Derbyshire. If I remember rightly, meets up with the Derwent. Again, I'll put up whereabouts. We'll do the trig point, then we'll come back. We're going to head down to the main road over there. Might even go via those rocks there, I don't know yet. And then we're going to head over there, which is Burbage Edge. And there's a couple of crashes off to the left there, just off the edge. So we'll, I might have my lunch at the trig point. What time is it? 2 o'clock, yeah, 2 o'clock. So I think this whole walk's about 2.5 hours. So probably about halfway around. Even the old boggy's looking a bit rank today, isn't it? Look, I know how that feels. So we'll walk past here, past the source of the River Wye, trig point. I'll have a brew, have a cheese sandwich, and then we'll head off back over towards Burbage Edge, I think. That sounds like a plan. Beautiful. So there we are. This is the source of the River Wye. So you can see why. That's a good pun, wasn't it? And that flows down through Buxton and then down towards Bakewell, I think. But yeah, through Monsaldale as well, I think. I'll check its route, I'll put a map up. But yeah, you can see why it's so wet here. So yeah, amazing. I'm not off this one moor, this one sort of watershed. 5 rivers come off it. 5 of the main rivers in Derbyshire and Staffordshire. So it's really interesting, that. Well, interests me. Right. Looks like there's a bit of an island there. I said that before and sank up to me knees, which wasn't great. So yeah, be alright once we start going uphill. Get out this bit of a trough. I'm glad I put my gaiters on. I think it would have been even worse. Anyway, I'll see you up at the trig. See that in the distance, a grouse. So this is a grouse moor owned by my old landlord, the Earl of Derby. We lived in the old servants' quarters in Crag Hall for a little while in Wild Boar Clough. He owns around 6,000 acres of this. Read the book Trespass to find out how all these toffs got hold of this land, because if you do, you'll be up for a rebellion, I tell you. All the enclosure acts and all that. Really, really interesting. Oh no, it's a curlew, I think. I must be near the nest. So I'm going to take it carefully now. There was a grouse over there. that, I'm not sure what that is. Some sort of plover. It's not a curlew, the beak's too short. Could be a golden plover. I'll record that. I'm quite near its nest. I'm going to stick to the path. I don't want to, yeah, see, don't want to spook it. These chicks will be nearby probably. This is definitely a type of plover. I think it's a golden plover. Clearly its nest's around here somewhere. So we'll, like I said, we'll stick to the path. There you are, a trig. Just check what this one is actually. No name, it's just a trig. Oh well, it's a shame. We're on featherbed moss here, but yeah, it's got no name. What a shame. Should we name it? If so, give me a name. We'll get a petition going to name this trig. This is going to have some stunning views. Look at that dragon's back over there in the cloud. Fantastic. That really is a good walk, like I said before. Should get some good views from here. It's not a bad place for getting the lee side of it. See the clouds coming over again. We're in and out of the cloud all day today. But yeah, it's quite a rocky trig this. I think there's a way up there. Freshly painted by the looks of it. Not wet paint fortunately. But yeah, stunning views. So that's where we went up earlier, Axe Edge, and we came back around here, up here, and we're going to go back down over there, cross over where that path is over towards Burbage Edge. But yeah, Solomon's Temple's just there. Just see that little blip. That's quite a cool place to visit. Obviously you've got Buxton. That's nice. We stayed in the Crescent Hotel there the other month. It's really nice. And there, look at that Dragon's Back peak. I'm going to take a picture of that before this cloud comes in. Oh, it isn't too bad. I'll get a picture of that now, have a coffee, and then go on my way. Well, here we are on Cat and Fiddle Road. That was a bit embarrassing. My phone's got a bit wet in the old things, a bit of condensation, and bizarrely rang the police. So I heard the voice and I thought my outdoor active had gone into voice mode, and it was someone on the police going hello, hello. So I had to apologise and give them my name so they can keep a record. But I don't know if anyone else has had that happen before, but I don't know how that can happen really. It must have been just the water on the screen. Keep an eye on that. Anyway, come a slightly different path. I head up there now, back onto where I need to be, and then go and find these other two eggs. So that, I bet that is the River Wye. I bet you found to finish shit. We're going to head up here. There's them cool rocks we saw earlier. Head up here and across there. On the old Cat and Fiddle Road. Looks like an old quarry or something here. We're headed over here to the wreck of the Havilland DX60, I think it is, which was a biplane. There's not much left apparently, so I'll have a quick look. If I can't find it, I'll then head over to the wall and head back down. There you can see the A54 to Congleton, Cat and Fiddle Road, Cat and Fiddle pub. Here, Derbyshire Bridge, and just off here on this moss is where the River Goyt starts and then flows down that valley there into the reservoirs and then on down towards Stockport. But we're headed over here now. Got my sat nav on, so that should help. Going to try and pinpoint this next wreck. Being a biplane, a lot of it would have been wooden, so from what I can tell, all that's pretty much left is a bit of a crater and a pool, so nothing too exciting. The second one is meant to have something, so we'll just see how we get on anyway. I'll catch up with you if I find anything. I think this might be the site. It looks like a crater of some sort. I'm just looking a look around. Again, I don't think there's much debris at this one. Let's have a quick wander. But it was meant to be right next to the wall. Meant to have gone through the wall. The wall is a bit destroyed there. So, you know, it could well be the site. I'm just going to check around. Make sure there's nothing else. It was meant to have been a few scraps apparently. And this is the right grid reference. Again, it is a 6-figure grid reference. So you have to be a little bit careful. That's just a rock. But I put up about that. That was another Oxford crash. It's a shame I can't find that one. We found one of them. But they, like these other two, from what I can remember, so lethal on there, just can't see below the grass. But, yeah, I'll go back the other way. I suspect that might be the site, the biggest hole. You would imagine it's quite soft ground, so a big old aircraft hitting it at some speed, you'd think. Find either of those two, but like I say, in the book it said there wasn't much left, so I'm sure people take things these days. But still see the weather coming across. We've got sunshine at the minute, but still cloud coming across over the top of Shining Tor there and the Cat and Fiddle. So heading back to the car now, see if we see anything, but I think we're headed off just up over there. A very weathered signpost. And we're headed up here now. I'm going a good scratch against that post. Ain't you, mate? That'll be flowing into the Dane. They don't call them watersheds for nothing. Here we fucking go. I tell you what, I've had enough, people. If you want to start fucking executing the cunts, mate, I tell you. Wankers, if I ever catch you fucking dropping litter out of your car, mate, it'll be the last thing you fucking do, I tell you. Take it fucking home with you. You bought the bastard out here, take it fucking back. Oh, fucking balls my fucking piss, it does. I tell you, them sheep there could have started eating that. Fucking arseholes, people. Don't come out here ruining the fucking place. One day, mate, I'm going to end up in the fucking nick for it, I tell you. Anyway, calm down now. Moment over. Let's just carry on down here, back to the car. Put the rubbish in the bin. Like normal, sensible people. Fucking scum. Tell you what, I didn't notice these on the way up. Something must have disturbed them. Look, all them sheep bones there. Looks like a hip. Leg. I wouldn't notice them on the way up there. I think they were in there in the heather. Something must have disturbed them. Yeah, look, they're scattered off. I remember seeing these here, but I don't recall seeing those big ones again. That's my missus, I'm blind as a bat sometimes. Anyway, there it is, the gangster wagon. Look at that, blacked out windows a lot, eh? I'm surprised I don't get pulled a lot more in my car, really, looking the way I do. Some of the people I hang around with driving that motor. You certainly, if you were going to do something dodgy, you wouldn't go in that car, would you? Well, that's a walk finished. Back having a brew. 6.3 miles, I think it was. I averaged about 2.3 miles an hour, so in moving term, I just did it about 2.5 hours, something like that. Pretty weird, but I'm always 2.3. Maybe I've hit my peak. Anyway, good walk that, a bit wet at the start. We found the first aircraft wreck on just off the northern face of Axe Edge, and then we looped round back over towards the source of the Wye, which again we found, and the nameless Trig point. We dropped over to Burbage Edge, but really no luck there in finding those two wrecks. I wasn't sure if we would. Both ones I've read up on. There's two things: one, the 6-figure grid references, which gives you quite a big square, but two, everything in there said that basically there wasn't much wreckage left. One was an old de Havilland biplane, so there wouldn't have been much of that at all. The other was one of these Airspeed Oxfords. Never flying an Airspeed Oxford, mate, was only still flying around. And then we came back over and back down, so yeah, really good. That some really good weather as well, really good. Good to be out in the rain. In terms of waterproof, the GoPro worked fine. I've got an aftermarket cover on the lens that did mist up slightly. These sprayway trousers, mate, can't fault them. They just dry out so quick, you don't get cold at all. So I shall wear these, and they're not bothered with waterproofs in summer. They've just dried out totally within minutes of getting wet. I'm not cold at all or damp. Feet are a bit wet. I went in one spring straight over the top of the gaiters, so even then nothing's going to stop that getting through. But again, can't fault the scarpers in this sort of terrain. They've been horrendous in shoes, that would have been. And then back down, so waterproofing, yeah. So this it's okay, this waterproofing, but it started to condense a bit. So I think that maybe from the heat from the battery or something, I don't know. And then of all things, it ran the police. So I was walking along and I could hear a voice, and I thought, oh god, I bet Outdoor Active's got into voice activation mode. And no, it was the police, so I had to apologise. So I just like pocket called them. Oh well, never mind, these things happen, I suppose, as long as it doesn't happen all the time. And then yeah, bit of a rant about the litter on the way back. This layby is disgusting. People just chucking stuff out the windows, mate. You ought to camera them up, mate, and just take your reg and fine you. And then if you keep on fining, mate, bang you in the nick or something, I don't know. Send you to Australia or whatever we used to do. Anyway, that's it for that. The video will be out later in the week. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do next weekend, because I'm going to be having quite a bit of a drink, I think, with some family coming over. So we'll see how we go. But I'll be out in a week, so I might do a short video then. So anyway, have fun whatever you're doing, and I'll catch up with you soon. I just got home and just realised I gave you all the teaser at the start of the video and forgot to tell you what it was. So, celebrities at Edge Moor. Well, what it was, back in 1968, a guy used to run concerts in the Pavilion Gardens in Buxton. Quite big names, but it got too small, so there's too many people turn up. And a guy called George Mycock, who owned Boo's Farm
on Axe Edge, said, well, you can use my farm if you like. So they ran a series of concerts there, and some big names played there. Chuck Berry played there. Who else? Small Faces. I heard a rumour the Rolling Stones did as well. So I'll do some digging and find out who played there, but some big names did. But that was up on Axe Edge there on Booth's farm. So yeah, wow. So I'll dig out some details a bit before my time. I was born in '67, so I'd only been one at the time, but I'll recognise some of the bands. So I'll dig out some of the old posters, any websites and stuff like that, because that's really interesting that stars of that level were on Axe Edge, the place where I was walking earlier. Anyway, that's it. I'll catch up with you next time.